Right then, so doing the Airwolf model, all seemed to be going fairly well, and then the side window popped out, and there was paint on it, and did the usual things, tried to use acetone, dipped it, and for some bizarre reason it's gone, well, as you can see, absolutely hashed it right up. Looks a right mess. It's almost like it's eaten in to the plastic too much. Can't get it off. So I've seen this solution where you can sand it. So we have 3 grades of sandpaper: 1000, 1500, 2000. It's wet and dry, and it's a 3-stage thing where we sand it with the 1000, rub it down, sand it with the 1500, rub it down, sand it with the 2000, rub it down, and then polish it off. And apparently it's supposed to go completely clear at the end of it. I'm not confident it's going to work. Well, let's give it a try and see what happens. So we're going to start with the 1000 and give it a rub. Right, so we're at the end of the first stage. So we've gone at it with the 1000, and you probably see it's obviously opaque, possibly looks worse, but it isn't, because all the where it took some work, but where it eaten in, we seem to have got, that's a better shot, we seem to have got rid of pretty much all of it, so it's just now more opaque than anything. So now the other grades of sandpaper we can use to buff it up a little bit more. I'm quite impressed with that actually, considering that was really eaten into. Alright, so now we're on to the 1500 grade sandpaper and see how that goes. Right, so that's the 1500 paper used, and now we're up to this point. So now you can see we are getting still a little bit foggy, but nowhere near what it was, and all the marks are now out, and we're at the point where you can actually, oh, it's got the light on it there, but you can actually start to sort of see through it, if that makes sense. You can see my finger through it. Don't know if we're at the stage of holding it up to the light, but it's pretty much there. Yeah. So we've got the 2000 to go. Might even go a bit higher than that. But so the worst part, all the blemishes are out, and now it's just bringing up the clarity. So I wouldn't have believed this. Here we go then. 2000. Here we come. Right. So now we've used the 2000. And it's getting pretty clear now. Pretty clear. Still slightly opaque. But what I'm inclined to do now is maybe go up another grade, maybe 2500. Might even go at 3000. I'll go at 3000. And then I'm gonna polish it, and one of the things I'm thinking of using is the floor polishers, the cloths that you can buy, because they're waxy. So I'll give them a go first, and if that doesn't essentially work, I'll get the T-cut at it. But yeah, as you can see, there's the paper I've been using. It's getting better. It's getting better. Alright, so I've given it a buff with one of these floor polishing wipes, and I would say that is about as good as I'm going to get it, but it is trying to find something you can see. It is see-through, trust me. It's pretty much back to where it was. It's just cloudy where the polish is on there, but when you considering what we had, it was scarred, and now you can see through it without any marks on it. Once it's glued in back into the helicopter, I think it'll look alright. Took about an hour, but worth it. Can't rub too much off it, so you can feel that you've taken a slight element of the thickness away. But it's pretty much back to clear. I might just try a little bit of T-cut on there just to finish off with, and then we'll leave it at that. But there you go, if you bugger up your acrylic, it can be fixed. Although I wouldn't want it to have done anything any smaller than this. And finally, one last thing I've done, good old silver polish, put a bit of that on it, and now as you can see, we are pretty much back to a perfectly clear piece of perspex. I don't think I needed necessarily to use the other floor polish. This Brasso, you can see, straight through, proper perspex, seems to have worked perfectly. Just be careful when you're rubbing it, you don't scratch it again with the wall, but just put a nice layer on each side and give it a buff. And there we have it. We are back.